Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell
On
with it.
Cold Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria,
where you are the judge.
Thank you so very much for staying the course on Cold Digest Extra. I hope you're enjoying the weekend because we're bringing you something that would wow you and keep you a little bit relaxed on the show today. And you know, it brings to our imagination that Nigerians are actually very good thinkers. Nigerians are people who will think out of the box and create wealth for themselves. And so that's why we're looking at this new trend we see daily, that is the online business. Usually you hear names like Jumia, Konga, Supermart, and all of the online business, and you're wondering that how do these people make their money? How inspire them to come up with something like this? And that's what we're looking at, the online business, understanding this particular terrain. Because, you know, as the world moves, especially in the ICT generation, people are upgrading. And so it's important that as Core TV News, we keep you upgraded because we care about you. And that's why we're looking at the online business, understanding the terrain. And discussing this topic with me is the Public Relations Officer of Supermart.ng, one of the new online business, which is actually a year old, in person of Tayo Alofun. Tayo, good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice having you on the program today.
Thank you very much.
And you know, the interesting thing about the online market is because you're involved in online grocery. So it means I can get my pomo online, I can get my pepper online, which is actually incredible because for people who go to the office, people who do not really have time to go to the market to shop, they could actually get this on the online grocery market that you do. So now the question is, what inspired this market really?
Thank you very much. Actually, we looked at the situation of households in Nigeria, and we understand, especially women, having to go to work and then come back and then go to as many supermarkets as possible because they get some of the things they want to buy in one, they get some in the other, and then eventually coming back to local markets to shop for their local ingredient, the pala and everything. So the stress of having to do this, not forgetting the traffic situation which they have to go through. So we came on board to see how we can solve this problem and grant households, especially in Lagos, more time to the tune of about 3 to 6 hours, which they can actually invest in more profitable things. So when you log on to supermart.ng, for instance, all you need to do within a space of 5-10 minutes, all the product have been aggregated into that one-stop shop. You just, with a click, you have everything into a singular basket and it gets delivered to you at the comfort of your house at the stipulated time, at the stipulated day, within 3 hours.
But with this market coming up, and we're looking at the fact that we want to eradicate the issue of unemployment in Nigeria, is your business not really chasing off the indigenous traders who work in Mushin, who work in the Ojuwoyes of this world? What happens to them?
Actually, as against what people think, that e-commerce is actually causing unemployment, it's actually creating more jobs. In fact, the Ministry of Communication Technology clearly tells us that within the space of the time it started in 2012, it has created over 12 million jobs. And for the people that you say work in the local market, it doesn't actually send them away. What we've done is to partner with them such that we are able to make the same product available to the people at the same market price. And so these people are still selling, but we take the responsibility of the logistics and save the households in Lagos the stress of having to go around from one market to another. So they get it at the same market price. The sellers are still selling at the local market, and household in Lagos get their product delivered to them without stress in 3 hours, and they spend the rest of the time, in productive activities with their spouses, their children, and all of that.
All right. Now we see that in this time of the century, the e-commerce is actually coming up. It's really, we see it at the front burner now. People like to buy online, do a lot of things online. So for you, as the public relations officer of Supermart, how what's this word now? How lucrative is the online business?
Well, we do know that generally the online business is growing from what it used to be back then in 2012 when it was quite new to the market. From statistics available, we also know that from the 1,000 to 2,000 orders per day that it used to be then, currently we are talking in the tune of 50,000 orders per day. And that alone tells you that people are beginning to wake up. And for us at supermart.ng, we've been recording 30% growth in the market month on month. So again, that clearly tells us that the market is growing, people are getting more familiar with the market, gaining the trust of the market more, and they are willing to save themselves the stress of the everyday running around and using the ICT to their comfort.
Now, aside from the fact that, okay, I can get my goods delivered to me free of stress and all other things, what advantage is there for me as a consumer subscribing to the online market?
Yes, again, like I said, apart from the fact that you get it delivered to you, it also saves you the stress of having to move from one place to another. For instance, if you want to shop, say, some grocery in one supermarket, and then you look around, some of the things you want to buy or the particular brand you want to buy, it's not there. You have to go to another supermarket, and then by the time you now finish all of that, you then now want to go again to a local market to get the local ingredient that you are going to use, the panel and all of that. Most of the time you're not going to get that in the supermarket. So what the e-commerce has done, especially for us at Supermart, is that everything is now assembled on one spot. So apart from the fact that it's going to get delivered to you at the comfort of your house, save you the stress, save you the time, you also get to pick everything in just one spot. So rather than moving from one place to another, everything is settled in one spot. You just get it in one spot.
Is it affordable?
Yes, again, like I said, you get it at exactly the market price. So the same price you are going to get it if you had gone to the market yourself is the exact same price that you are going to get it. And then, again, we have professional shoppers who actually, have been trained professionally to do all of these things. So they save you the stress. They just do it for you.
Okay, so do I get grounded pepper as well, or just the fresh pepper? Can I just tell Supermart I want my pepper grounded, so it just deliver it home to me and I just cook? Is that possible?
Actually, when you place your order online, the order is taken, and then there are people who ask questions about specific details on that. There are people who have been trained again in that regard, on time management, on customer relations, to actually ensure that you get it to the BRH specific details.
And the thing is that you're telling me that these foods come as fresh as you would get them when you go yourself to the local market.
Again, you see, when we recruit people, delivery men, they're actually taken through trainings, and by the reason of this training, they are able to understand time management, so they are able to deliver this thing in time, such that you are able to get the exact fresh quality and fresh packaging as you would get if you had gone to the market. In fact, more quality, because most likely, if you had gone yourself, you'll probably be stuck in traffic, and you'll probably not be able to make it down back to your house within that 3 hours. And by the time you are even getting home, you don't have the exact quality with which you left the supermarket with. But with a faster transit now, you even have exactly the quality of the product when it left the supermarket.
Now, what contribution is the e-commerce making to the Nigerian economy?
Well, again, I haven't talked about how it brings comfort to the people. Again, I did mention about employment. One of the things you understand about e-commerce is that it actually skyrockets other components. It doesn't stand alone. For instance, there is the logistics component, there is the advertising and all of that. For us, again, for instance, we've employed quite a number of people who are trained, and by the reason of their training, they are able to even employ this training, which to some extent is a managerial skill that they can employ in other endeavor in case they don't want to move again in that terrain. For people that are trained in the delivery, for instance, they get to own the cars that they are using after 18 months of working. So, when you look at all of this, it's creating more employment, it's making life better, and in terms of even GDP of the country, is contributing high, because now the oil sector, if you have seen the recent GDP as released by as made published on the CBN website, you discover that the oil sector is declining, and what is rising is the non-oil sector of the economy, and this is entirely driven by trade and commerce. And what is fueling trade and commerce? It is what is it called? The incoming of technology, because now it brings more convenience. Like I gave you an instance of supermarket where you can actually get everything on one spot. So because people can actually shop for everything on one spot at the comfort of their house, they tend to buy more. So it fuels trade, increase trade, and begin to drive the economy on a national scale.
All right, now let's, with the online market coming at the very front burner now, and a lot of people tap it into this. Usually businessmen would want to enjoy monopoly, but as it is now, a lot of people are entering into this market. Does it spell any disadvantage to the online business operators if more people tap into this vision or idea of running an online business?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because when you look at, let me give you an instance. Again, let's subject this to statistics. The wholesale and retail, traditional wholesale and retail alone account for over $100 billion. Now, there is a projection that grocery alone has a potential of $12 billion. Now, this is quite a huge market. That's on grocery alone on the e-commerce scene. So this has a potential of a big market. I mean, there is no need for any monopoly. Again, you understand that the e-commerce or ICT driven commerce in general has to do with creating a niche, understanding the problem, and giving the solution. Just the same way we felt, okay, this is the problem household in Lagos are facing, and we want to solve the problem. So we came up with supermarket.com.ng, where people can actually, with a click, save themselves all the trouble, save more time to the tune of 3 to 6 hours with their family. So incoming market can actually think of other niche that they can carve for themselves, say furniture or any other thing, and they begin to solve people's problem in that regard. So it's really a huge market, and the incoming of as many people as possible does not pose any threat.
All right. Now let's look at the challenges the online, the e-commerce businesses face. Nigeria is still growing with technology, and so the internet is not as good compared to other countries. So aside from the internet issue, what other challenges do you face running an online business?
The major problem of online business, again, is centrally infrastructure. Now, you can break that as down as possible to power, to road network, to the internet and all of that. But again, I dare to say that first, we are improving on all of that. Against policies and all of that, but we're improving on all of that. Internet penetration again is increasing. Nigeria is having the largest in Africa right now. Again, power is improving gradually, and most of those things are improving gradually. But beyond all of that, for us, we believe that these are challenges, and customers are not interested in the challenges. I mean, anybody can tell you about the challenges. They are interested in solution, and that's why we make it at Supermart a goal that, look, irrespective of the logistics or infrastructure challenge, the customers must get the solution that they are paying for. And that's why, against all the background of the infrastructure and all of that, we've kept to the promise that 3 hours it get delivered to the people. Just place the order, in 3 hours it get delivered. So we have all these challenges, but the bottom line is that there must be a solemn decision on the part of the entrepreneur to surmount this and grant solution to the customers.
In 3 hours on the Lagos road, do you use chopper to deliver goods? How do you do that, especially when your clients are very far away? How do you get the goods delivered to them in 3 hours?
Again, well, I've had this question many times that, look, Supermart, you guys are doing great. We don't know how on earth you are making this magic possible, but it's working all the same. I think I would just like to say that somehow we are getting it done. Again, you want to understand that we've partnered actually with most of the top leading brands, both local market and supermarket stores, to the tune of having over 60,000 items that people can order. So it's actually easier for we've put a lot of structures in place to actually make this possible, and that's why it's next to impossible that we fail on delivering to people within that 3 hours that we've stipulated.
All right. While it's good that online business is actually taking the front corner, how can e-commerce help this current administration boost its economy, really? Especially with the background that the president is talking about the treasury being empty. How can e-commerce help boost the current economy we have?
Again, I will just make reference to the state of the economy. When you look at the GDP, like I mentioned earlier, you see that trade again is driving the non apart from manufacturing and all of that, trade is driving the growth of the non-oil sector, which is actually compensating for the decline in the oil sector. And the incoming of e-commerce is fostering trade. So when you look at it in that light, and bearing in mind the exponential growth that e-commerce is recording, so the exponential growth on e-commerce is going to have effect on the traditional retail and wholesale business, and then the multiplier effect is that it have an effect on the economy. And so you see that gradually more employment, improvement in the state of the nation's treasury from the non-oil sector. And the current administration has actually been emphasizing the need for us to look away from the oil and look into other things. And I think this is a good opportunity. And that's why, at supermart.ng, we are really committed to ensuring that, we join this move and make solutions available to people, drive the commerce, and ensure that the nation is better for all.
Okay, now, with your opinion, could you make a forecast if the country does not speedily look away from the oil sector and other business? What would become of the country if we do not tap into all the means of businesses in Nigeria?
While I'm not so much in a good position to talk deeply about the oil sector, but I can tell you one thing, that if a nation does not diversify its economy, it's actually not good for the growth and the well-being of the country. And that is why I personally feel that it's a good move that the president understands that fact, and he's making moves to actually see that we diversify the economy. Otherwise, it could be chaos.
All right, thank you so very much, Tayo Alofun, for being on the show today. As we learned a lot about the online grocery market, how a lot of Nigerians could benefit from this, and how well the country, the economy, can also be boosted with this particular babe on block, as we just briefly looked at the online business, understanding the terrain. Do well to join us after this break for more on Core Digest Extras. We bring you more details on issues that's going to help you and make your life a whole lot better. Stay tuned.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say. I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please for Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday 1:30 p.m.